This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Athletics.
Leaping at the wall, it's gone! A towering drive into center field by Rooker.
And 29 other MLB clubs.
A judgy blast. All rise. Here comes the judge.
Swung on, hit high, hit deep to right, away back into the second deck.
Bobby Witt Jr. becomes the first shortstop in Major League history to have two 30-30 seasons.
Shohei Ohtani starts the 50-50 club.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe, from humidors to walk-off dingers to Hall of Fame talk. We have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
I can't tell you how good it is to be back at the ballpark in West Sacramento. It's beautiful out. We got the A's are hot after a historic 4-game sweep of the Astros in Houston. Jamie Arnold, the first pick out of Florida State, ACC. Guy was an absolute beast. We're hearing that he struck out Nick Kurtz twice, and it was on 6 pitches. I cannot wait to talk to him, the A's first-round pick, the 11th overall pick. He is going to join us today. The general manager of the Athletics, David Forst, is going to join us. The Mariners are in town. They're fighting for a playoff spot. We're going to see for the first time. I mean, I know you've always wanted to see. Cody Elias is with me here, Commander Cody. I know you have your entire life, you're like, man, if Josh Naylor could, it's almost like when Ricky Henderson played for the Seattle Mariners. I mean, to see Josh Naylor as a Seattle Mariner. Ichiro went in yesterday. You saw the great Mariners up there. Griffey was on the stage there at Cooperstown. Edgar Martinez, Randy Johnson, now Ichiro and Josh Naylor.
It's a big move. Although Jerry DiPoto was on the award-winning front office show on MLB Network Radio, Jim Bowden, Jim Duquette, 7 to 10 Pacific time every Sunday. Now it sounds like Jim Bowden promoting it, but he was on there, and they don't sound like they're done yet. But Naylor's the big move they made, so I don't know if that's really going to get them to the pennant, but I mean, it helps their offense for sure. But yeah, when I think of great Mariners in the Hall of Fame, I don't think Naylor's going to be one of them.
Well, by the way, if you're Seattle, Seattle didn't help themselves yesterday because they lost, but the Rangers have won 6 in a row. So if you're Seattle, if you're Texas, I have one thing to say to you today. You're welcome. You are welcome for what the A's did for you. The A's helped keep you and your mediocre years in the postseason race for the American League West, because now the lead in the West is down to 4. Rangers have won 6 in a row. Mariners, they're playing okay baseball. They're 5-5 in their last 10, but both the Mariners and the Rangers going into today's action are only 4 back of the Houston Astros, because the A's have won 4 in a row, and they did it in Houston. First time ever they had swept Houston in Houston. It was historic. It was fun. Nick Kurtz. What graphics do we have on the great Nick Kurtz right now? He's riding a 13-game hitting streak.
I have the hitting streak. It's loading right now. I'll give it a second.
You're loading the hitting streak. Well, let me tell you something. As a team, the A's finished 5-5 on that 10-game road trip, which was huge, because that was, you saw coming out of the All-Star break, you had Cleveland, you had Texas, and you had the Astros.
There you go. It's on the full screen right now. There's
all right. So let me just give this real quick. 46 extra base hits on the road trip. They finished 5-5. The Athletics have 92 extra base hits in the month of July. That leads all of Major League Baseball. They've scored 53 runs since the All-Star break. And Nick Kurtz right here, back in the lineup today. The big man is going to be hitting second. Looks like he's found a home here in the number 2 hole. If you're listening on A's Cast or on the A's Radio Network, 650 KSTE, 95.5 KWNR FM, The Bull, HD2 in Vegas, and all of our other affiliates, you won't see this, so I'll read it to you. Well, you can do it, Commander. 13-game hitting streak. What do we got with Nick Kurtz?
So he's hitting .549, 28 for 51, 9 homers, 20 extra base hits, 20 RBI, a .603 on base, a 1,314 slug, or a 1,917 OPS, and during his 13-game hitting streak in July.
Can we just stop showing on base and slug and
just say OPS?
Say
please.
OPS. I mean, come on. Jamie Arnold.
Is he on his way up? Yep, they said he's going to be on his way up. So I'll just
Jamie
step out
Arnold,
now.
The contingent, he's got a whole contingent with him They're making their way up the stands, and looks like they're making their way over, as we will have the number 1 pick out of Florida State. It's a special time because he looks like the type of guy that is not going to be in the minor leagues very long. If you watch yesterday's game and you watch the effort by JT Ginn, 6 innings of scoreless baseball and struck out 4, you think about Jack Perkins, what he has been able to do. You're looking at a rotation that the young guys are coming to play. And right now you still have Severino, you still have Springs, you still have Sears. What the rotation could look like next year, and we'll get in more into that a little bit later with David Forst, the general manager of the Athletics, of what it could be like. As I'm now looking up at the entire Arnold, I guess this would be family, mom, brother and sister, dad, everybody's here. So pretty cool to see everybody. It's one of the great moments, and Jamie Arnold is with us, the Florida State Seminole, the number 11 pick in this year's 2025 draft, now with the Athletics. Congratulations. It's always a big day when you show up for the first time. You get to go in the clubhouse. You get to meet everybody. Congratulations. I'm sure this has just been a dream come true.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been an amazing day. I mean, this opportunity to come out here and be around everyone has been amazing. So I'm just super blessed.
You know, usually it's so overwhelming because a lot of times it's a hitter we've seen in recent years. So these guys got to step up and take batting practice with the big leaguers, and everybody's sitting there going, how many home runs did he hit?
Yeah.
What's cool about a pitcher is you get to show up, just kind of hang out and do some interviews, be with the family, and it's pretty calm.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to shag BP, just, chat up with some guys. So it's been laid back and really cool. Yeah.
So what was it like when you first got the news, pick number 11, you now know where your home is? Just take us through the whole family, the reaction, everything, when you finally you get picked and you know you're going to sign and this is your future.
Yeah, that's kind of when it all set in for me, because obviously leading up to the draft, you don't know where you're going to go. So, once I got the call and I knew I was going to be an A, like it kind of all set in for me and it felt real. And, thinking about this team, it's such a young team and, we're moving to Vegas. So I was super excited and, I'm super happy to be here.
And not many people right now in the world of baseball can flex on Nick Kurtz. If there is one man who can flex on Nick Kurtz right now, as we were just showing, what Nick Kurtz is doing is historic. It is truly incredible what he's done in the first part of his career, what he's done in the month of July, what he's done during this 13-game hitting streak. But the Florida State Seminole here got to go up against him at Wake Forest. Yeah. I'm hearing 2 at-bats. Is that correct?
Yeah, if you take away my freshman year, I'd had a pretty good stat line off him, but he got me my freshman year, but sophomore year I had 2 at-bats, 2 strikeouts and 1 intentional walk, which I was a little upset about.
And by the way, those 2 strikeouts I'm hearing were in 6 pitches.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're like the Nick Kurtz whisperer. You're like the only guy out there.
I guess. Yeah, you could say.
When you've talked to David Forst and you talked to, everybody when you got here, have they given you a plan the rest of the way? Because there's not a whole lot of minor league baseball left.
Yeah. So I was in Phoenix all week, getting settled in the complex. So I got a throwing program. I should be, ramping up till the end of the fall. So just really trying to build up, getting ready for the spring. So.
Yeah, when we saw pictures of you down at Fitch Park, and a lot of people are like, wow, we're sending him down to the desert. I'm like, well, he's from the Southeast, so he's used to really hot and humid. Yeah. Now welcome to what we call dry heat.
Yeah.
How was your time down in Arizona?
It hasn't been too bad. It's only been like 105, I think.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for Arizona, it's not that bad. I know last year, that first week, they were saying it was like 115, so we're lucky. But, yeah, it hasn't been too bad. I'm not sweating as much as I would at home, which I love, so.
All right, so how much have you been able to throw since the end of your guys' season?
Yeah, I didn't pick up a ball until Monday of this week or of last week. So it was 6 weeks off, and that's longer than I've ever taken off, but it was weird circumstances, with the draft coming up. So my arm feels good, though, getting ready to throw again and, moving into this ramp-up period.
So how much do you think you'll get in this year? How much are you going to pitch the rest of the way?
I think I'll have a couple innings towards the end of the fall. Just in live at-bats or some game, just the end of the fall league. So just looking forward to that.
All right, let's explain your game, because back when my day years ago playing college baseball, and then when I got into this thing, we called guys like you, we just said, hey, he's got funky. He's got arms and legs are coming at you. He's coming from down here.
Yeah.
It's just funky. Now we start talking about arm angle, and we talk about extension, and we have all these different ways to explain it. So just explain your game and your mechanics.
Yeah, I think it's funky. It looks funky to everyone else, but to me, it feels smooth, athletic. I've kind of just always thrown with some funk there, but yeah, I just like to think I'm free and easy, and move athletically. And I think over the years things have changed and it's gotten more deceptive. But I'm just honestly, I feel blessed to be able to throw like that because it makes me good, and I don't think hitters see it often. So I know it's a newer thing that you want the angles, you want all the approach angle, all that stuff. So I kind of got lucky. That's the way I throw, and it's been a huge advantage for me.
How much, when we talk about the biomechanics of it, how much do you study what you do and what why you are so good? Like some guys, I just pick up the ball and I let her rip.
Yeah.
How much are you somebody that's really into the analytics, into the data?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously with the pitch shapes, I know I use that as a tool to like, okay, my stuff's in the right spot. Like I know if I go out there with this stuff this weekend, I'll have a good outing. But yeah, I don't dig too much into that stuff. I mean, I never try to throw the way I do, and I never try to get certain shapes on my pitches that kind of just happen. But I went to Driveline in the off season and kind of got an understanding of, how my body's moving and what I do well in my mechanics that make me good. And a lot of that is just the way I get down the mound. My center of gravity moves down the mound quick, and that's ultimately why I throw as hard as I do, even though I'm not that physical. So, moving down the mound quick and having stable parts is what makes me good.
So when you went to Driveline and you really haven't truly explained to you why you do what you do, was there an aha moment where you go, that's why it does that?
Yeah. So there's a neat little thing they have where you do like a strength test, and it tells you like how hard you should throw based on your strength output and your body size and weight. And my expected velo was like 85. So obviously I don't throw 85.
What?
And I got, so I did my mocap, my motion capture, and it told me basically like my mechanics are just exactly where they need to be. So it's pretty neat knowing like, okay, like my mechanics are in a great spot. I don't need to change anything there, but if I gain weight and if I start moving quicker, there's more velo to be found. So it's pretty exciting.
And what do you average now?
My fastball sat 90. It was like 93.7 this year. So I've run it up to 98, but I mostly sit in that 93, 95 range.
Yeah, so you're thinking you could probably go 95, 96, maybe 97 when you beef up and get a little more of your strength.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so when you think about expectations, we've just seen Jacob Wilson drafted out of Grand Canyon. Before you know it, he's here in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Nick Kurtz drafted out of Wake Forest. Before you know it, he's here in the big leagues.
Yeah.
So the last two guys that were drafted out of college were here the next year. That means if you stay on that progression, you'll be here in the big leagues next year.
Yeah.
When you set goals for yourself, what are the goals that you're setting for yourself right now as a potential big leaguer?
Yeah, that's kind of always been the goal is, I know my stuff can play at this level. It's just a matter of doing it. And, that's something I want to do is, be in the bigs by next year. But, everyone's path is different. And if things don't go my way, like, I'll stay in the fight. I mean, that's kind of how I am. I just appreciate every day I have to play baseball. So if I keep that mindset, I think things will go in the right place for me.
Well, the thing that you said, which is so key, is the word is deception. Because you're growing up in an era where every kid sees velocity from the time they start playing. That no matter how high you get up, we see kids are throwing mid to high 90s by the time they're at least college, sometimes in high school. By the time you're going to go to the minor leagues and you're going to be playing with guys from all over the world, and everybody's throwing 100 miles an hour, right? So it doesn't fool guys anymore. So deception is key. The fact that they don't see you. We just saw, we see with Jacob Lopez, who's playing for the Athletics right now. He's throwing 91, but you can tell hitters don't see it.
Yeah.
That is something that I think is a huge strength for you, and don't ever lose that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like your superpower.
Yeah. Definitely. It's something I think I've always had, even back when I didn't throw as hard, guys just kind of missed my heater. So I'm doing something right in the deceptive department. So I'm going to try to stick with that.
All right. Now, what's going to be fun is we got a lot of guys who are out of college. So college football season, before you know it, is right around the corner.
Yeah.
2 years ago, your Seminoles were riding high.
Yeah.
Last year fell off.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was growing up, Bobby Bowden had the Florida State in the top 3, let alone the top 5 every year. Some of the greatest players to ever come out of there. What are we looking like with our Seminoles this year?
I think we'll be good. I think Norvell's got the guys in the right shape. Last year, I think, not every year goes the way it's supposed to, but I think, he's a great coach. I mean, he's been around us just at the baseball field, and he's got great energy. So I think he'll lead us back in the place we need to be.
Well, this is the show that we're hopefully going to have you on for like the next, I don't know if I'll be around another 15 years, but something like that, like another 10, 15 years. Yeah. We hope to have you on. I hope to see you next year because I'm thinking, if Jacob Wilson did it, Nick Kurtz did it.
Yeah.
Why can't you do it?
Yeah.
I plan on seeing. I'll see you at spring training. We'll have you on again spring training. We'll be checking in with you all the time. But I expect to have you here next year.
I got you. I'll do my best.
Those are the goals. I know they're lofty goals.
Yeah.
But, that's the kind of talent you have. When we look at the video and we look at the numbers, this is your destiny, is to be pitching for the Athletics at the big league level.
Yes,
so stay healthy. Go get them.
Yes,
It was great to meet you.
Nice
and we'll be checking in.
Yes, sir.
Jamie Arnold right here. Flip. The parents, who do we have here, by the way?
My mom, my sister, my girlfriend, my agent, and my dad, and then my brother's in the back chatting it up.
Very proud, very proud, right?
Couldn't be here without them, so.
Was draft day, by the way, with the whole family and everything?
It was like everyone that's ever been a part of my life. So it was awesome having them there.
It's crazy nowadays because back in our day when you if someone got drafted, you just got a phone call.
Yeah.
Hey, this is so and so from the Phillies. We just took you in the. Now you do the cameras and the whole thing. Pretty special.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a great night.
Go get them.
Yes, sir. Thank
Jamie
you.
Arnold,
Appreciate
it. Draft pick for the Athletics, number 11 overall in this year's 2025 draft. Pretty cool. He's going to be a big part of what we do and what we have going forward. And we've talked about, when you really look at the model, and the model has, I guess you'd say the model right now, and they have a huge series this weekend. The battle for the supremacy in the National League is the Brewers and the Chicago Cubs. And they're playing this. Would they be playing right now? It'd be 7. Well, they might just be kicking off.
Yeah, because Central Time, so they'd be 7.
Be 7 o'clock there. But the way the Brewers, or I'd say either the Brewers or the Rays, would be the model of just having a boatload of pitchers everywhere.
It's a 3-0 Cubs middle of the second.
Ooh, who was going for your Brewers?
I think Mizorowski wasn't he?
I heard he was the Miz is giving up. Well, only one was earned though.
He's fine. Everything's fine. Stop panicking. Stop
panic
panicking.
with the Brew Crew. Panic. Panic at the disco. Panic at the disco. Pretty cool, right? Jamie Arnold right there. Nice kid. If you watch the video, he is funk. He is, he's arms and legs. And if you're a hitter, you're not going to see the ball until all of a sudden it's not sidearm-ish, but it's definitely 3/4. And get used to this, folks. The days of Tom Seaver, Nolan Ryan, drop and drive, where you come down on your back leg and you fire off the mound and you're coming over the top. They believe that the 3/4 not only is super effective from a standpoint of deception and extension, that the 3/4 release and throwing pattern is something that's going to keep people healthier, and it's healthier for the elbow. I only play a orthopedic surgeon here on A's Cast. I did not go to medical school, so I cannot prove those findings. I just know what I've been reading, and they believe the 3/4 release is something that is better for the elbow and for the shoulder.
You would hope so, and because I just heard earlier today that Logan Webb is dealing with something in his elbow, and that's why he hasn't pitched as well. So that's a guy
he's already had Tommy John,
and that's a guy that's been Mr. Durability for the Giants. To see him maybe go down eventually, that could be bad. But if you go back and look at, speaking of Jamie Arnold, every first-round pick since 2019, except for Daniel Susak, who was playing for Vegas here yesterday against the River Cats, all of our guys have debuted, including Logan Davidson, who's now an Astro. But that's a good sign for Jamie Arnold. Now, none of those guys are starting pitchers, so hopefully Arnold could be here sooner than later and just keep bucking that trend of guys coming up from college getting here quickly. I did get to see Luis Morales yesterday, thinking of pitching in the future. the Aviators got their behind kicked. It was cool to see. Good to see our good friend Fran Reardon.
How was my friend Fran Reardon, the leader of men?
Well, seeing he got ejected in the second inning for arguing about manager challenges and the ABS and all that stuff, it was actually kind of funny. But it was good to see Fran talk to myself, Daryl Hernandez. It was good to see Daryl. But Luis Morales, 3 scoreless innings, 1 hit, 5 strikeouts, and his bulk innings he pitched. So I don't know if we'll see him this year, but seeing him, this is another guy that the organization has pitching wise to go along with Jamie Arnold, Gage Jump. Future could be very bright for this pitching coming forward because we know what we have right now, but with these kids coming, it could be very exciting on top of Nick Kurtz and Jacob Wilson and everything. So just wanted to get that in there. I got to see Morales pitch yesterday.
What did he look like?
Looked great. Everyone strikes people out. I don't look at the ERA. The ERA on the year is 4.40, but
what does he look like? Tall?
Yeah, he's tall, yeah. Works quick. I think you'll like that. Very quick.
What's the arm angle?
It's not 3/4. He's not more 3/4 than over the top, I would say.
Yeah. What's he throw?
Mainly, I didn't look at his arsenal, but he's throwing 98, so fastball.
What were you drinking? What are you doing?
I was watching our game at the same time.
The number is 833-625-2278. You just show up. What does he look like? I don't know. He threw the ball well.
3 score. Well, no one's throwing.
That's my YouTube scout right there.
But I'm excited for
You're
him.
Like Shooty Babbitt. Oh, I don't know. I saw him in Beloit. Like, what? what does he look like?
But hopefully he's here, because he's on that innings count. So hopefully he'll be here. It'd be cool to see him in September. If not, maybe we'll see him next year. For sure.
I'm glad we got Jamie Arnold, and that was really cool. Good job by you. Is he officially signed yet?
I think he did it last week, but they did like the official thing.
Yeah, today.
Up here
right?
at the Legacy Club here at the ballpark in West Sacramento.
Didn't sound like he's going to pitch in the minor leagues at all.
No, I forget who was saying that, but someone was talking about a lot of guys that pitchers get signed. They're coming out of like the draft. They don't pitch after the
because this is the problem with the
July draft. Yeah.
See, back in the day, it was in June. Get them signed by July, and then you'd send guys out. Now there's hardly any time by the time they sign. These pitchers haven't been pitching. Their season's been over when was his last game with Florida State in the regionals?
Probably early June, maybe. Right? Maybe even
Probably
late May.
Yeah, so it's almost been 2 months.
Yeah.
So you're going to throw him back out there? So you're not. So it's kind of I get
the
why
days of Mike Leake debuting a few weeks after he got drafted out of Arizona State. I believe it was Arizona State.
Yeah, he was A-State.
Yeah, he came debuting that season. Those days I think are gone.
Yeah, it's terrible. You want to
stop with the forks.
You want a guy to get drafted, and then you want to get him out in your minor league system. But now with the way they've pushed the draft back and it takes time, it's bad news. All right, what were we talking before? What were we talking about before Jamie Arnold interrupted
Nick Kurtz in his hitting streak?
The Nick Kurtz whisperer,
yeah.
Jamie Arnold.
As Johnny.
Yeah, so show his July.
Okay.
Nick Kurtz is July. My God. 429, 25 extra base hits, 11 home runs. It's just it's just spectacular. It is so much fun to watch, to know that what you got, if you got some really supremely talented young players. But quickly some things I want to get into. We just wanted to bring up all the Kurtz stuff and the A stuff. The Emmanuel Clase has been put on ice by Major League Baseball. They're investigating, once again, potential gambling. If I had to handicap this.
Well done.
The problem is not Major League Baseball players want to do prop bets on themselves. This is not about Major League Baseball players looking to make a little extra cash. If I was to guess, what happens is that we have friends in life. And when you have friends overseas or even in this country, but when you have friends overseas, as the two Guardian players that we are looking at are both not from the United States. When you have friends overseas putting big money on prop bets that are based on you may not be doing this for yourself, but you may be doing it for your friends. And this may be the problem. Now, I know everybody's going to freak out, but you can't stop. We, as sports fans, we like to gamble. You're not going to stop that. Gambling has made the NFL the number one entertainment entity in the United States of America. Whether it's fantasy football, however you want to do DraftKings, FanDuel. Am I missing anybody? Who's baseball connected to?
BetMGM.
BetMGM, you name it. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff with VSiN coming up here down in the desert in Las Vegas. It's a part of sports. Now, if you got some bad apples, you got to deal with that. But you're not halting this train. This train's not stopping. This train is going to Gamblingville. And it's a big part of baseball now. It's going to get bigger in baseball. Gambling is what's going to help. You heard it here. It's what's going to help replace the cable money. It's one of the reasons why Major League Baseball wants the A's in Vegas. Gambling is going to be a huge part of our game. And if some guys make the bad mistakes, well, they're going to be dealt with. Mm-hmm. But this isn't stopping. And if you are a star player and you're trying to help guys back home, we'll find out more information. Clase has been put on. What list is it?
I believe it's the non-disciplinary. They put him on like it's a non-disciplinary paid leave, but I think it's just like the.
You haven't.
Let me see what they actually call it.
You haven't been charged with anything. He is not guilty of anything.
No, he's just been put on the list because it was Luis Ortiz was the guy that the pitcher for the Guardians that was initially caught with it because he had the 2 pitches that were flagged.
And you know what that's called? Who? Yeah. But now when it's Clase, it's a big deal.
It's like the 5th story now on ESPN somehow, but let's see if they have the list on here. Yeah, they just keep saying it's a non-disciplinary paid leave. Is what it doesn't say what the actual list is.
All right, so just note that it will probably come down that these guys were not doing it for themselves; they were doing it for other people, which is still highly illegal. Now, the other one, this story out of Philadelphia where the commissioner of baseball went in to talk to the Phillies and Bryce Harper's playing tough guy and using the F-bomb and tell him to get out. It's just another clear indication of how tone deaf the players are. I sent this to Cody. I can't wait to have Mike Farron on. Our buddy from SiriusXM is going to be here with the D-backs on Friday. Yeah. I think there's 3 people that back the players and know salary structure, right? Coming up next, there's 3 groups of people that do not want a salary structure. Everybody else, I guarantee, is all in. Who are the 3 groups? You'll find out next right here on A's Cast Live.
Go-to destination for A's video content. Get access to great highlights, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, classic games, A's Cast Live, and more. Visit youtube.com/athletics.
Here's the pitch, and it's a hit. Folsom Lake Ford has stepped up again, winning the Triple Crown Award, Ford Motor Company's highest honor. Now 7 years in a row, Folsom Lake Ford is a top sales leader in the U.S., along with being top in customer satisfaction in sales, service, and finance. Now that's a home run. Don't miss the huge savings on your favorite models at your truck headquarters. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall.
Calling all college and grad students. Grab your friends and head to the ballpark with this special offer. Save up to 50% off select regular season games throughout the 2025 season. Get your discounted tickets at athletics.com/student. For just $25, fans can sit in the general admission outfield grass for all regular season home games. Tickets for that day's game will open up daily at 9 a.m. for purchase at athletics.com/lawn. Sign up to receive A's alerts to receive a text the first morning of each home series as a reminder. For more information, visit athletics.com/lawn. Get your group together and check out all our great hospitality spaces for bonding opportunities, events, or a fun outing of your friends and family. There are 20, 50, and 100-person indoor suites available for select games, as well as an 80-person open-air area with a shaded cover. Secure your group today at athletics.com/hospitality. A's All-Star Jacob Wilson sat down with Towny on A's Cast Live to reflect on his development within the organization and growing alongside the team's young core.
We talk about it all the time, like just guys who got drafted into this organization. This is kind of the only team that they know. We all get to be here playing for the same team that drafted us in the big leagues, and we're all young, so we all get to hang out. We either played against each other, in college or even growing up throughout high school, and it's pretty special to see the young talent that came up to the big leagues, with us and succeeded. It's pretty awesome to just see that the future of this club's in good hands with all the young guys that we have here, and we're excited to be a part of it, and we're excited to grow as a team together, and just go out there every day, enjoy it, and play for each other, and hopefully play this game with each other for a long time.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
Streaming from West Sacramento, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
Do you know who's just arrived?
Is it the radio guy?
It is the two-time World Series champion, former Rookie of the Year, five-time All-Star Steve Sachs. He is dying to do the show today, and rumors are, and you were telling me the reason why is because Johnny didn't let him talk on the whole trip. He's been waiting to actually get a chance to talk A's baseball.
So the Joe Buck Economy Awards, how he doesn't speak a lot. That doesn't apply to Johnny. It's a lot of Johnny and a little bit of Sachs.
I only got to hear a little bit. I thought it was great. I didn't run. So Johnny basically feels like he's Johnny Carson, and he takes over the show.
So I watched the Showtime Lakers thing they did on about the Lakers and everything. Winning Time is what it was called. And every time they showed Chick Hearn when Pat Riley's doing games, he'd be talking or whatever. And when Pat was going too long, Chick Hearn would just go, tell him to shut up. My turn to talk. I heard that's what Johnny was doing to Sachs.
Wow.
We're so high right now.
Wow. Wow. All right. Before David Forst shows up, there's three groups of people who are all in on the players making whatever, a total free market, let's just say. That's the players. That's people who make money off the players, agents, people like that. And then the media, baseball media, who sucks up to the players.
Yeah, I agree with you when you sent it to me earlier.
So when you have certain people who are so concerned about what the players think from a baseball media standpoint, they suck up to the nobody else. No, and by the way, we found out stuff about it's been documented by Evan Drellich.
Friend of the program. Athletic.
It speaks volumes about what's been going on with foul territory. We've highlighted foul territory. I think they do a good job, but now it's getting out, and it's not something, I don't know, maybe they really publicly say it, but there's been an investment into their show from the Players Union. So all this pro player stuff at nauseum, the stuff that they did in Oakland, right?
Yeah.
Now when you look back and go, oh, okay, there's a big investment from the Players Union. Why they get all the players? Why there's I'm not going to say it's a conflict of interest. I mean, because they're a streaming show and someone invested in them and they're going to take care of the people who invested in them. That's fine. They're not CBS Nightly News. Right?
No.
They're tech, but now you get a glimpse once you really get, when people look at us, go, oh, you work for the A's. Yeah, you know who's paying us. You know exactly what the deal is.
Yeah.
Foul territory, which has had a rise, and we've had the host
Scott
Braun on. I think he does a great job. But just know now, with all the things that they have said in the past and going forward, that there is a major investment, according to Evan Drellich. Did he give the percentage?
I think it was just how much the money was. Was it like 200,000 or something?
So
like that?
they've had an influx of money come from the actual players' union. So just always thinking about that when you look at the content. But that's the deal. Everybody else, who does not think there should be some type of structure in baseball? Who thinks, we need to be giving more $700 million contracts to guys? People flipped out with $200 million contracts, $100 million contracts. It's now $700 million. Like, what baseball fan doesn't look at football, basketball, hockey and go, you know what, that works. How does it not work? How can baseball legitimately stand up and arrogantly, like they've had all these years, act like, well, that wouldn't work for us? Oh, it works for the NFL, which is way bigger than you are now, but it won't work for you with less players.
Yeah, I mean, we're literally the only sport that doesn't have one. Every major sport in the United States or North America has it.
Yes.
And it's working. It works well. I mean, yeah, I get the NBA contracts are getting a little out of hand, but that's not the point. A lot of their players, I mean, their ninth guy on the bench is making money. So the salary cap, it helps. And I think it would help baseball. And the way you laid it out, the players don't want it. The media, there's media members and the people that work for the players, like agents, don't want it.
Yeah,
totally get
they
it.
all just want more and more and more and more.
But
now,
fans
there is a problem on the owner side, is that they never show their books.
Also fair, yes.
That is a fair point by the players. But if the stand up in front of the commissioner, tell them F you and throw them out of the clubhouse and to do that kind of stuff like what Bryce Harper did, I guarantee you, you're tongue deaf. And that's coming from a guy who has a $300+ million contract.
Yeah.
Right? Like literally 90% of all players, or maybe even more, would benefit from a structure. You have a structure that benefits just the guys at the very, very top. It's always been a structure based for the guys at the top. Most players play 2.5, 3 years. So 90% or more of the players in a salary structure would benefit and do better. But Bryce Harper doesn't care about them. Bryce Harper cares about the star player like himself and the guys around him, like a lot of Philadelphia players make a lot of money. That's what they care about. They all try and do the Scott Boras, the tide raises all boats, and that is not the case.
It's interesting. The guy that came to his defense, like try to be the person that broke it up between him and Manfred was Nick Castellanos, another guy who makes a lot of money. It wasn't like it was a rookie on there. Hey guys, it was another guy making a lot of money. It wasn't Zach Wheeler, those guys. It was the higher paid guys. And I get why Harper doesn't want it, but
Harper was the first overall pick in the draft. Bryce Harper left high school, got a GED.
Correct, yeah.
To go to where's Ken Korak when you need him? What was the JC you went to in Vegas? College of Southern Nevada.
See, Kyle knows.
How do you know that? Okay, it's about him. He just can't say why. Well, let me tell you how these kids are so self-absorbed. It's unbelievable.
By the way, congratulations to Kyle. He did his first broadcast with the Modesto Nuts yesterday.
Once again, back to Kyle. Good job, Kyle. Congratulations. Sometimes you can give an answer without talking about yourself, but you'll learn. I mean,
now the radio guy's laughing.
Oh, the great Steve Sachs. Is Sachs just a radio guy? Hey, Sachs, you got to get ready to be a TV guy again, all right? Are you ready to be a TV guy again? It's unbelievable.
David Forst says he's on his way.
Are we getting the clock from the great Nate the Great?
Michael's actually playing it. All right, let me get out. David's here.
I wonder how David would feel about my opinion. The general manager of your athletics,
I'm here.
David Forst, is here.
Sorry, I'm late. Busy day.
What do you got going on?
Jamie Arnold's here. I don't know if you knew.
We just did an interview with him, and I am very impressed. Obviously, character matters. The person matters. Stuff matters also. Very enjoyable. You have drafted a lot of college kids with maturity lately. 2 of them just got to the big leagues within a year.
Yeah.
Could we see that with Jamie Arnold?
That's your first question? Yeah, sure.
When's his first start? We need to start preparing.
At this point, you could see anything, right? I mean, Nick was here on May whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously pitchers are different, and Jamie's not going to go out and pitch anywhere this summer. He's going to go back to Arizona tomorrow, get back in shape, hopefully get a few innings in instructional league. But he's not going to go out to an affiliate. So
yeah, I asked him because you know what, I'm just an old dog, right? So I was sitting there going, where are you going? And he looked at me and went, well, I'm going to go to the fall. I went, oh, that's right, it's July. He hasn't pitched like in 2 months or something like that?
Yeah, he hasn't really picked up a ball since his last game at Oregon State. So we got to get his arm back in shape and get him on the mound. But that's fine. I mean, it's kind of how it goes now with the July draft. So, yeah, he's not going to go out and pitch this year. But, again, like all these guys, he'll dictate where he is. Gates jumps in Double-A already, like doing a good job there. We'll figure out Jamie's workload next year based on his innings last couple of years, but he's got all the ingredients to be a fast mover.
When we were growing up and you faced a guy like that, you just be like, he's just funky, man. He's coming from the side. It's just all legs and arms and everything.
It is a tough AB. I told Jamie at lunch today, I think he was the last guy that I saw get Nick Kurtz out.
Yeah, he's the Nick Kurtz whisperer.
I saw him when he was a sophomore when I went to see Nick at Wake last year. Jamie was pitching against him, and it was a tough AB for Nick Kurtz.
So when you look at a kid who's, we see so many guys come in 3/4 now, and I know we're probably going to start teaching that now because they're saying that it's better for the elbow and the shoulder. We'll see. But just the deception of it, and we're talking so much about extension and being funky and coming from the side. He's got all of that.
He does. Yeah, I don't know that you can teach this. It's the low slot. It's the extension. It's all those sort of buzzwords we talk about now when you evaluate pitching. He's got deception and throws a ton of strikes from all those funky things.
And you saw it yesterday with what was his name? The guy going for the Gordon, and we can see it with Lopez. There is a drawback to me when you're throwing from 3/4. You can get under the ball a little bit. Yeah. It sails on you, and once things start sailing on you, next you have a trouble getting back into the strike zone. So I understand there's a lot of strengths throwing this way. There are also, you can see these guys all of a sudden get wild real quick.
Yeah, and look, you pitched more recently than I have, so you probably
a long time ago.
You probably know more about it than I do. But yeah, just because you're coming from a lower arm slot doesn't mean you can't get on top of the ball.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you don't have that carry. So I mean, you have to be pretty fine with your mechanics, and Jamie figures out a way, like I said, primarily to throw strikes, but also to get those swings and misses with his deception.
Well, and it's also different too. I mean, I look at what we've done with JT Ginn this year, what you're doing with Perkins, Jack Perkins, to where we could look at him and say, he's going to be in the big leagues, going to be a start a long time, but he could come up and he potentially could start in relief.
Sure. He did. I asked him today. He did it freshman year. He had 8 appearances out of the pen. These guys, Ginn and Perkins, hadn't done it much in their career, but we've sort of felt like, at least for them, it was a great way to get their feet under them in the big leagues. And JT's made the move back into the rotation. Had a great night the other night.
Yeah.
I think Kurtz said Jackson can get another shot in the rotation at some point. So it's a good way to break him in. You never know what the path looks like.
Yeah, I mentioned this yesterday. I mentioned it on NBC and in the postgame. I said, the stuff with Perkins really cool. By the way, next February when pitchers and catchers report, you're in the starting rotation. So don't enjoy this bullpen thing. You're going to be in the starting rotation. Trading deadline's coming up.
Yep.
How's your phone doing? Obviously, I was thinking about you yesterday. What's the Sirius XM, the show? Front office show, the award-winning front office show.
Yeah.
Jim Bowden asking GMs questions. I know I can't ask you about players that are not yours, but let me ask you about players who are not yours. I was thinking
like
about
Jim.
you.
Yes, that sounds like Jim. It's been busy. The pace of phone calls has picked up in the last couple of days. I mean, obviously we know where we are in the standings. We have some guys who are going to be free agents that might be attractive rentals for other teams. We have some bigger pieces that maybe impact the club down the road. So look, it's no secret, like pitching is a priority to find, whether that's in the draft, whether that's in trades, free agency, whatever. So we're out there looking.
Should I be shocked if you don't do anything?
No, definitely not.
Kind of like last year.
We traded Paul Blackburn last year. Was that it? That might have been it. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, again, I think being realistic about some of the guys who aren't here beyond this year, I think is probably something we should do and see what the market is. But no, I wouldn't be shocked if we did nothing.
Yeah, the core guy, especially the position players, it's a no-go. Please, no-go. Leave these kids alone.
All right, your objection is noted.
Okay, just let them grow. Let them grow. So we'll just have to wait and see if someone blows you. I mean, if someone blows you away, you got to do business.
Yeah, this is not a complete team yet. I mean, we know that. We've played really well at times. We had a really bad stretch. Outside of that bad stretch, we've shown a lot of promising things, and but there's there are pieces still to be put in place. There are players that need to be added sometime before we are a competitive playoff team.
If you take that bad stretch out, which can't,
right?
It's
I would like to. I've tried a lot.
If we played the game Battleship, it sunk your battleship.
Yeah.
But you take that out, you're basically right around a 500 team, which means you'd be in the playoff hunt right now. Right. No question about it. Why do you think that? Have you gone back and looked at all? Like, why do you think it happened?
Yeah, I think we got into a little bit of a spiral in the bullpen, and the short starts, the long work by the bullpen, we couldn't get out of it. We probably didn't turn over the players as quickly as we should have to get some fresh arms to help out, and it was like the definition of a snowball, man. We could not get out of its way.
Is it something everybody learns from, including yourself?
I think so. Yeah, Mark and I have definitely talked about it, and like I said, I think one of the lessons is, no matter how much you like the guys in the pen at that time, if they're not fresh, if they're not throwing the ball well at that time, you got to make a change. You can't let it just keep going. So I think we've learned something. I mean, guys do get optioned. They come back from the minor leagues. We saw it with Justin Sterner. So I think we need to be proactive when we get to that point.
All right, Friday night, you're a busy guy. Your phone's going. Everybody's talking. You got kids. You got a lot going on in your life. Yeah. Where were you on Friday?
What did I miss? I was at a youth tournament in San Diego. Per usual, I was not following the first inning or two of the game. I like to let it sort of settle. But my son does a really good job of tracking the game for me. And it was pretty early on. He said, I think this is when you should watch. So I tuned in about the fourth inning. I saw everything else.
It is literally one of the greatest performances in the history of our game. We can debate a lot of different things. The fact that the double almost went out, could have gave him 5, because I know Mike Cameron, who hit 4 home runs a game, said, hey, wait a minute, he hit one off a pitcher, which I respect. You look at the entirety, the 19 total bases. He did things in this game. I have a graphic. He did things in this game that no one's ever done in a total career. I mean, it really is one of the greatest performances. As a general manager of a team, and you drafted him, just what is that like when you're watching this going, this guy just did something that's like Ruth, Bond. I mean, this is incredible.
It's amazing. Yeah, I'm usually, when I hear those superlatives and hear people say this is Jeff Passan, I think, tweeted like this is one of the greatest offensive nights ever. Like, I'm always a little skeptical, but then you sort of dig in and you look at, like you said, the names on those lists, and you see that list with DiMaggio first and Kurtz second, and I'm like,
and Williams third, Ted Williams third.
It was amazing. It was a lot of fun to watch. It was a lot of fun just to be a part of, to enjoy. I watched you and Shooty afterwards. I was desperate to see what words Shooty was going to use to describe that performance. It was a lot of fun. Yeah,
that is a very good inside joke, by the way.
when I stick around to watch the post-game show, it was a good night.
Yeah, it's just, and then that one list came out of guys with an 870 slug for a 43-game period. Like Ruth did it 9 times, Garrett 4 times, but you're going down. And it's Hall of Famer after the only non-Hall of Famers like Barry Bonds, but the list was like, and you're like, this guy was in classes last year.
Really?
And he's on the list with the greatest players. We're talking DiMaggio and Williams and Ruth and Bonds, and my God.
Really special night. Yeah, it was amazing that his folks were there. It was, game we won big, kept the momentum going, and every which way. It was an incredible night.
I did understand, and Shooty and I talked about it yesterday, about I do get why rest him. Like, he is a kid where, the hips have been a little tight and there's been a lot of running. I mean, I understood that.
I thought Mark did a good job of talking about it publicly and talking about the workload and how many games he's played compared to last year. And I will say our medical and performance departments do a great job of tracking the workload, literally like how many yards this guy's covered. When you're on the bases as much as he is, like you need to be careful. Obviously, you're talking about a huge frame, like he's putting a lot of weight on his body. So yeah, it's important that we give him the DH days, we give him a day off. Like, as painful as it is to put a lineup out there without him in it right now, you got to have a long-term view. 19
total bases. That's a lot of activity in one outing.
Most of them were trotted, which is helpful.
Well, and then you win yesterday without him. That says a lot. And I thought yesterday was a victory about depth. The one name that wasn't in there, and he's not in there again today. Yeah. And I just start to wonder, and I don't want to put anybody in a tough situation, He got hit in the hand. Ever since then, it's just we haven't seen regular work for Jacob Wilson. Are we looking at an IL stent, or what's going on with Jacob?
We haven't ruled it out. I think, look, I'll give Jacob a lot of credit for playing through this. I mean, it's been a few weeks now since he got hit. He obviously is still feeling it. It's obviously affected his performance. I mean, you don't have to look that hard to see the guy who's played the last 3 weeks is not the same guy.
And then Muncy is out for the year basically because of it, right?
We'll see.
You get a hit in the hand.
Yeah, I think there's a chance we see Max. I feel okay about that, but. Yeah, I mean, we haven't ruled out an IL stint. We're taking our cues from Jacob right now. He's telling us what he can handle pain-wise. Like you said, he's not in the lineup again tonight. Ultimately, if we decide he's, a week or whatever off is going to help him long-term, we'll make that decision. But right now, look, he made that play defensively the other night. He can still do that. He can still help us in a lot of ways, but we want to do what's best for him. So we'll probably – next 24, 48 hours, we'll take some feedback from him.
It's so tough. But everything was clean, right? The x-rays and everything was clean?
Yeah. I mean, but look, bone bruise a lot of times lingers and it hurts. So we'll see.
Yeah, that definitely is a tough one. How's Denzel Clark doing?
He's getting better. He did some rehab in Arizona. He's out there tracking some fly balls today. So I don't think we have a timeline on Denzel yet, but he knows how much we want him out there. His boy's covering him for him pretty well out in center field, but we'd like to have him back out there.
That's something that I'd like to note is there is something when your team needs you and you move somewhere else, it doesn't matter what sport it is, and you go to another position, you say, I got it. There's something that does for a young player, kind of like from a lead by example type deal.
Yeah.
How much do you see that? We already know Lawrence Butler. I mean, he's the life of the party. When he walks into the clubhouse with that smile, that beautiful big smile, everybody loves Lawrence Butler. But for Lawrence Butler now to be like, I'll go to center, I'll take care of it, I'll deal. I mean, there's some leadership. Talk about Lawrence going to center and doing the job he's doing.
I've been most impressed with Lawrence's ability to do that while he admittedly is not swinging the bat the way he can. I mean, he said it the other day. He's not hitting well right now. And for him, first of all, to admit that and be secure and then also go out in center field and play great defense, I think is a really good sign of maturity and leadership, like you said. So I've been really impressed with Lawrence the last week.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch. And it just gives you another dimension, right? Shows you, Lawrence can play more than right field.
I mean, he's a great, great athlete. There's no reason he can't go out there when we need him to.
From a pitching standpoint, how have you enjoyed the way, and it's really the bullpen, it's been since June, but even the starters since the All-Star break, how much have you enjoyed watching the pitching kind of come to form?
Yeah, it's so obvious when starter gives us a chance to win. That's when we have a chance to put together 3-4 in a row like we're doing right now. So it's been nice to see guys go 5 and 6 innings. It's been great to see the bullpen sort of bounce back into form. I thought Kurtz did a great job with the bullpen on the road trip. Even the games we lost, he kept guys fresh, moved guys around, got guys work to sort of set us up for that 4-game win streak.
And it's so tough when you have a year that's the way it's been, is to get Mason Miller regular work.
Yeah.
Like, how tough is that when you go, I need him to work, but I want him to work in the games that matter.
Right.
It's like how tough is that?
Yeah, it's a balancing act for Mark and for Emo to, they made sure he got out there in the 3rd game in Cleveland, even though, we weren't going to win that game. Like, you got to get him work, but yeah, you want him fresh. If we have a chance to win a couple close games in a row, you want him to go back to back. So they're always talking, always balancing that.
It's always going to be with like Hudson Mulder and Zito, or, Hall of Fame weekend was just this weekend. So when you're talking about Smoltz and Maddox and Glavine, about pitchers feeding off of each other, the starters, are you getting the sense you're starting to get that with your starters?
I think it happens anytime you have success. Anytime you win some games, everybody wants to match what they're doing. Yeah, obviously, Sevy set the tone the first night in Houston, threw a great game, had his best fastball of the year, I thought, and everybody else kind of fell in line.
Sevy looked like the guy I want so bad after the game in Houston. Shirt was unbuttoned. He had the chains going. He was talking about, I got an elite fastball. I need to attack people. I'm like, that's the guy.
Yeah.
That's the dude. That's the guy I wanted. That's the guy I want to see out here tomorrow.
It's been a few games in a row now. He did that out here right before the break. He did it in Cleveland. Like, I think you've seen him really recognize how important that fastball is, and it gives him some swagger, and he goes at hitters.
So much when we talk about what are these analytics guys doing back there? What are they doing over there? So to me, how many times do you guys look at certain things and you take it to the players and you go, hey, man, the Forst seam fastball, throw it more.
Yeah, I'll give Emo credit on this one. Emo was the one who was pushing Sevy to do that, and he knows the importance of it. So, yeah, I think it was a good collective effort, and I think Sevy understood as soon as it was presented to him.
And then I'll say, we've seen with this sweeper slider combination with Sears, and now I'm seeing with JT Ginn, it's like JT Ginn's with the change. To me, JT Ginn looks a lot like Kendall Graveman, same height, same college, whatever. But the sinker slider guy, that changeup that he adds is a huge dimension.
Yeah, it's a good call. When we first got Kendall and he was touching 96 and 97, you saw the good velo, and he did have it going both ways. That was when he was most effective. And JT the other night was able to do that.
All right, so after the draft, after the trading deadline happens, what do you do?
Sit back and watch, baby.
Is that when you can become a baseball fan?
Nah, there's work to be done. There's minor league stuff. There's these draft guys. I'll go down and see them work out. Like there's plenty of work to do.
Is there like something specific, like because you want to see all your minor league teams finish up strong? They're going to have pushes all through the playoffs too, minor league playoffs.
Midland and Sacramento, Midland and Las Vegas are already in the playoffs, so we know we got to get ready for that. Make sure those rosters are set, and got a chance at the other places to finish strong.
Yeah, the city names thing. At some point, we got to get this corrected for all of us.
What are we going to do in 2028 when we're both Las Vegas? Have you thought about how you're going to talk about the Aviators versus the A's?
Don't throw more into. I got enough on my plate.
Okay.
We'll handle that when we have to handle that.
Something to think about.
Hey, great day for you having the big gun shot. By the way, so weird. I forget because we did it with AJ Puck. It's so odd to have the number one pick not be a hitter.
It's been a long time.
Right? Because when it's a hitter, he's taking BP. We're like, how many home runs did he hit? And all that. Pitcher just kind of shows up and hangs out.
Yeah. It's good to be a pitcher.
He shagged. We got to see the number one pick shag today. Always thank you for the time. We appreciate it.
See you, Chris.
David Forst, the general manager of Your Athletics, coming up next. Johnny D and Ken Korak. And then I'll be back with Steve Sachs for A's Cast on NBC Sports California. Thank you for listening to A's Cast Live.
Here's the pitch, and it's a hit. Folsom Lake Ford has stepped up again, winning the Triple Crown Award, Ford Motor Company's highest honor, now 7 years in a row. Folsom Lake Ford is a top sales leader in the U.S., along with being top in customer satisfaction in sales, service, and finance. Now that's a home run. Don't miss the huge savings on your favorite models at your truck headquarters, Folsom Lake Ford, in the Folsom Auto Mall.
This has been a presentation of The Athletics.